crucifixion, fountains open deep and wide, through the floodgates of God's mercy, flow the vast and gracious tide, grace and love like mighty rivers, poured incessant from above, and heaven's peace and perfect justice kiss the guilty world in love.
Well, shalom, everybody. Hi, this is Laura Lee. I'm so glad that you could join me today. Oh boy, I have a great show for you today. We are going to continue to talk about step 2. And so let me just add my PowerPoint. There we go. So I have a PowerPoint presentation for you, and we are going to gain greater clarity. So let's get going here. I'm not quite sure how to do this. Bear with me. There we go. Brene Brown says, if we want greater clarity in our purpose or deeper and more meaningful spiritual lives, vulnerability is the path. So being vulnerable and being your authentic self. And I suggest when you start opening up and being your vulnerable, authentic self, that you do that with safe people. So breaking the silence of 14 traits of adult children of alcoholics. So we are breaking the rules and the roles from our dysfunctional families and dysfunctional religious systems. So remember, in alcoholic families or dysfunctional families, the rules is you don't talk, you don't trust, and you don't feel, which this translates to future relationships. This programming is very powerful and it takes work to overcome. And it is manifested later in life in our marriages, in the workplace setting, and in our congregations and family home gatherings. So a lot of times we talk about the fruit, and it's all about fixing the fruit. But the real problem is the root system, and that's what we're going to talk about today is the root system, gaining better clarity. So let's do a root cause analysis. So I'm going to be using material from adult children of alcoholics and dysfunctional family systems. So let's look at family types. So the core of these families is shame and abandonment. So we have the alcoholic and the addictive family. We have the military families, emotionally ill parent. We have sexual abuse and incest within the family systems, hypochondriac parent, and a perfectionist. So the commonality in all of these family systems is shame and abandonment. We learn how to even abandon ourselves, and we take on that shame. I call it the inner ick. So the traits of persons who grew up in alcoholic or other dysfunctional family systems. So let's look at some of the personality traits. This is known as the laundry list in ACOA. So these are the 14 traits of an adult child. We became isolated and afraid of people and authority figures. We became approval seekers and lost our identity in the process. We are frightened by angry people and any personal criticism. We either become alcoholics, marry them, or both, or find another compulsive personality, such as a workaholic, to fulfill our sick abandonment needs. We live life from the viewpoint of victims, and we are attracted by that weakness in our love and friendship relationships. We have an overdeveloped sense of responsibility and it is easier for us to be concerned with others rather than ourselves. This enables us not to look too closely at our own faults. We get guilt feelings when we stand up for ourselves, and instead we give in to others. We become addicted to excitement, to chaos. We confuse love and pity and tend to love other people we can pity and rescue. We have stuffed our feelings from our traumatic childhoods and have lost the ability to feel or express our feelings because it hurts so much, which is actually denial. We judge ourselves harshly and have a very low sense of self-esteem. We are dependent personalities who are terrified of abandonment and will do anything to hold on to a relationship in order not to experience painful abandonment feelings, which we received from living with sick people who were never there emotionally for us. Alcoholism is a family disease, dis-ease, and we become para-alcoholics and took on the characteristics of that dis-ease, even though we may not have picked up a drink. Para-alcoholics are reactors rather than actors. So I love the saying in the 12-step meetings, keep coming back. It works if you work it. So keep coming back. So with that, brothers and sisters, I am going to just wish you shalom. I hope that this is helpful and insightful to you. Remember, we are journeying together to the heart of our Father. And I know that sometimes these topics can be pretty difficult to look at. But remember this, the Father has promised in Philippians 1:6, that he that began a good work in you, he will be faithful to complete it to the day that the Messiah returns. So remember, it works if you work it. You are worth it, so work it. Until next time, shalom.
On the mount of crucifixion, fountains open deep and wide, through the floodgates of God's mercy, flowed a vast and gracious tide. Grace and love like mighty rivers poured incessant from above, and heaven's peace and perfect justice kissed the guilty world in love.